wanted to demonstrate for you one more time how to plan out your body paragraph for your upcoming Boston Massacre essay. As I said on Wednesday, in order to plan a body paragraph, you first have to generate your claim and know what your supporting reason is. Because in our body paragraph, what we're doing is talking about the supporting reason we offered in our claim. If you look at this example here, I wrote the colonists are blamed for the Boston Massacre because they taunted the soldiers for no reason. This taunting the soldiers for no reason is the reason I'm going to write about in my body paragraph. So under where it says body paragraph, what I'm going to want to do first is copy and paste this reason, which I've already done. After I've copied and pasted my reason here, then I need to go back to my claim generator worksheet, that constructed response question sheet that we worked on last week, and find the evidence that matches the reason I use in my claim. And if we take a look at this example here, you can see it's the very first quote that we collected, the one from Newton Prince, where he says the colonists were calling the soldiers lobsters and daring them to fire. This is the piece of evidence that matches the reason I offered in my claim. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this into this cell right here where it says state your evidence. So when it comes to planning your body paragraph, you're going to copy and paste information into these top two cells right here. Very easy to do. You're not creating anything new. You're just moving information around. Not that difficult to do. If you don't know how to copy and paste, you can certainly type the information over. That's okay. The real hard part to planning a body paragraph is the elaboration part, the elaboration piece. As we discussed on Wednesday, there are two parts to an elaboration. Part one is where you explain what the quote means, a one-sentence summary of the quote for your reader. And in part two, you want to explain how the evidence helps support your argument. This is the place where you really have to sell your reader on your argument. So it's really important that your part two is convincing and strong. In terms of the quote we used for this particular example, the Newton Prince quote, they were daring the soldiers to fire, calling them lobsters. They were taunting and teasing the soldiers. In my own words, what does that mean? Well, what that evidence means, what that evidence shows, is that the colonists provoked the British by insulting them and daring them to fire. Essentially, the colonists brought this upon themselves. So in the second part of my elaboration, what I have to do is explain how what I'm saying here proves this was the fault of the colonists. Why were the colonists wrong for doing what they did? So what might I say here? They're provoking the British. They started it. I have to make that clear to my reader in the second part of my elaboration that this was their fault because they started it. If they left the soldiers alone, there wouldn't have been a Boston Massacre. You take a look at what I wrote, that's exactly what I said. The colonists showed up outside the customs house looking for a fight. Had they not provoked the soldiers by teasing them and daring them to fire, then no one would have been shot. Again, this is where you are going to sell your reader on your argument. We are salesmen and saleswomen. We're trying to brainwash our readers into thinking the way we do about the Boston Massacre. It's through strong elaborations that we're going to convince the readers that we're right, that our argument is the correct argument to make. After reading your part two, your reader should say, wow, he or she is right. I understand what they're thinking. That makes a lot of sense. That's what a good elaboration will cause your reader to do. This is how the different parts of a Peel paragraph are going to look on your graphic organizer when you use those Peel paragraph sentence starters that I'm sharing with you today. This is how that same information will look in Peel paragraph format. Go ahead, try this. Good luck.